In this video, I'm going to show you how to animate a player and create the code to make it move in every direction, and how we're going to start to create that little game here. For now, the game is very little, but it's going to expand more and more, and at the end, it should look like a sort of a map that you can see in Zelda Link to the Past or Zelda Link's Awakening, for example. So the first thing to do is to first create a scene. So for that, I need to click on the plus here, add a new scene. And then I need to go on the plus here and create a new node. And that new node is going to be a kinematic body 2D, just right here. And so for the kinematic body 2D, I need to add a sprite. I'm going to go for a normal sprite, not an animated sprite, because I'm going to use what we call a sprite sheet. So it's just going to be a single file where I'm going to have all my animation. And so for that, I'm going to use a single sprite. Click on create. I need to add a collision shape 2D. That's why I have that little yellow warning sign right here. So I need to add a collision shape 2D, which is here. And I need to add as well, I need to add first to that collision shape, I need to add a shape here. So on the right side of the screen, I need to click on shape and empty. And then I'm going to go for a new rectangle shape that appears just right here. And last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an animation player. So animation player is here, and I'm gonna click on create. This is what's gonna handle the animation of our sprite. So now I just need to rename that. I'm gonna call it player 01 because I've already have made several different players, because I've been shooting this I've been recording this video again and again because I had a lot of trouble with my laptop at the moment. So I hope this time it will be it will be good. So yeah, I'm gonna just like call it player 01, and animation player, I'm gonna call it anim. Okay, so now I need to add the sprite to my character app. So what I'm going to do is that I've already created a folder that should be here. It's here in sprite, and I have here in player, and so I have that file. So I make sure that this sprite, the sprite is selected. I have Martin Pig. So me, it's already it has already been pixelated, but if your pixel art is blurry, you need to go here on re-import, choose 2D pixel, then re-import, and then you just set as default for texture. So like that, you will not have to do it again. That's a shifty trick to know. So now I go back to my scene on sprite, and I'm just gonna drag my sprite sheet onto the right side textures, and now I have my sprite sheet that is here. It's not me who have made the art. It's a pixel artist that I will link in the description box below, because I was not looking to use the Zelda graphics because of infringement, potential infringement. So I was like, okay, let's do something else. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on offset, and then I'm going to go on centers, and I'm going to unclick that, and I'm going to go in animation. And so basically my spreadsheet is composed of a vertical frame and a horizontal frame. So I have 4 vertical frames, and I have 6 horizontal frames. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to set up the vertical frame to 4, and I'm going to set up the horizontal frame to 6. And now I just see that part of my sprite sheet, which is what I want. I just need to adjust the collision shape and make it fit my character. So that's very important, because that blue box is what's gonna handle the collision of my character. So it's very important that it's nicely set up. And so now I have my character that is set up. Okay, I need to save it. So I'm gonna go and save it. And now I need to animate it. And so that's going to be a bit tedious, I have to say, but it's better this way. So what I need to do is to go to anim, and then here click on animation and click on new. And so the way it's going to work is that now I need to rename my animation, and for doing it I'm going to use a certain convention. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to call it idle down, then I'm gonna have idle up, idle right, and idle left. But basically, why I'm speaking about that is just that because I have two animations, the idle one and the walk animation. But like it's an RPG and my character gonna go in 4 directions, left, right, top, and down, I need to have 4 animations for each of those 2 animations. So in total, it makes a total of 8 animation. So we're gonna start and we're gonna create idle down. Then I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna create idle up. Then I'm gonna repeat again, idle right, then idle left. Then I need to go to the walk animation, so walk down, then walk right, walk left, and walk up. It's very important that everything is attached, so make sure that everything is attached. So now I'm gonna go to idle down. I'm gonna go back to my sprite, clicking on it, and here on the right side of the screen I'm gonna go to frame. So I need to find the sprite when my character is idle in the down direction. So is the first one, this one. So now that I'm here, what I need to do is that I'm gonna click on those little key here, and it's gonna ask me if I want to create a new track for property frame and insert a key, and I'm gonna create it. And so now I have a key that's gonna be my animation. So I'm just gonna have that, nothing more, because I don't have other animation in that spreadsheet for the idle position. So I'm gonna do it, and just what I'm gonna do is like here, instead of 1, I'm gonna put 0.5 because here you can see that my animation is until 0.5. So I'm doing this, and I'm gonna repeat that for everything. So idle left, I need to go to frame and find the right position. So this is the right position, this is the left position that I need. So I'm going to click on create, click the little arrow key and click on create, and it's going to add a new sprite. And I'm going to do that again for the next animation. So it's going to be idle right. So idle right was before, so it's this one. I'm going to click the key again, create, change from 1 to 0.5, and so on and so on. So that's important that you can see how it works, because you're gonna have to do it as well. And so like this, understanding how it works is very much it's something very useful to do. So okay, so this one is good. Create. And so now we're going to pass to the walk animation, so walk down. So how it's going to work, it's going to be basically the same thing, but we're going to add several key to our animation. So here I go back to this one, I am on walk down, and I'm going to click on the key, create, and now I'm going to push that blue bar here. I'm going to go here and select that one and add it, and now I'm going to move that bar again, and I'm gonna go to this one, and I'm gonna click. And so now I have my free animation, and I'm gonna set up the FPS at around 5, and that'll be it. So now, just for the test, I'm gonna click on this icon, which is animation looping, and I'm gonna click on anim. And then I am going to go here in current animation, and I'm going to select my animation, which is walk down. And I'm going to see if my animation is working. Yeah, my animation is working, which is good. So I'm going to just amplify that. So, okay, tuck. Like this will be good. Okay, so now I have my animation that is working, so I just need to click on stop here, and unloop that. And I'm gonna go and continue to add some other animation. So I'm gonna go on work left, and I'm gonna do the same. So work left is a bit further. So here it is. Okay. So I need to go back a bit. Okay, here it is. I click no because I just need to put that back here. So okay, here I create. I after that just advance my animation and then continue to add some key. So what if I this one, and normally it should be this one. Okay, so I click on create, up, and so now I can verify if my animation is good as well. I'm just gonna add them here and here because it's gonna be better. I'm gonna change that and I'm gonna put it until 4 because the 4th number is here. And so now I'm gonna click on loop and see if my animation is working well. So it's work left. It's all right. It's okay. Okay, so that's good. And so now you know basically how to do those things. So I'm just gonna continue to do it and I see you a little bit later. Okay, so I've just finished to make the animation for everything, and so now I have basically all my animation. So now it's time to create the script that's gonna make our character move. So for creating the script, I need to click on player, and then here I have that little icon. I'm gonna click on it, and here it's gonna tell me to create the script. But first, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna change the path. I'm gonna go on my script folders and I'm gonna put my script right here. So like this, all my script will organize. And if I need a script later in the game, I know that I will have that script folder and my script will be there. So that's the thing. So okay, so I need to click here and then I click on create. And so now I have that appears. I don't need all of this. So I'm just gonna erase it, and I'm just gonna start to set up my code little by little. So the first thing that I need to do is to create the speed. So for creating the speed, what I'm gonna do is that, like it's an RPG, the speed of my character not gonna change that much. It's gonna be always kind of the same. So for that, I'm gonna set up a constant, and I'm gonna call it speed, and I'm gonna set it up to 120. 120 is good because for me it's a bit faster, and so it makes the game feel a little bit more nervous. I don't like when it's sort of too slow, too boring. I don't like that, so that's why I'm putting it at 120, but you put it at the speed that you want. Now that we have set up that, we need to also set up another thing, which is going to be a variable, and that variable we're going to call it move direction, and we're going to set it equal to vector2 parenthesis 0.0. So if you're new to Godot, vector2 is basically what is handling the movement in 2D in Godot. So this number is for the x-axis and this one is for the y-axis. And so here we are saying to Godot that the variable move direction in which we're gonna put our future movement gonna be equal to vector2, so it will move our character. So now that we have done that, we need to create a function that's gonna start to call those future functions. So that function is gonna be called func underscore physics process delta. But I'm not gonna use all those things. I'm just gonna erase that, keep delta and put underscore before delta, because after that, if I don't do it, Godot gonna tell me that I have an error. And in that function, I'm gonna call two functions. It's gonna be control parenthesis and movement. And we're gonna put the parenthesis as well. Those functions doesn't exist yet, but we're gonna create them right now. And so first, let's start by control. So we're gonna start func control. We're gonna say that variable left is equal to input dot is action underscore pressed, and we're gonna say that is gonna be UI left. So basically what I've just wrote right now is that when I want to go to the left, I need to click on the left arrow key, or the opposite. If I click on the left arrow key, I'm gonna go to the left position. So UI left is basically the programming language in Godot of the left arrow key. And so now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna just duplicate that, and I'm gonna duplicate it 4 times, and I'm just gonna change left by right, and I'm gonna put here right. Then here I'm gonna put it up, and I'm gonna write that here too, change it up, and here is gonna be down, and I'm gonna change here for down. And so now I have mapped the arrow key for making the character move to the left, to the right, according to the key that we have pressed. And the one of the other things that we need to do here is to say that basically up move direction, so the variable that we have created here, dot x, which is equal of the x-axis, gonna be equal to minus integer left plus integer parenthesis right. So I know it's going to be a bit confusing, but I'm going to explain that. I'm just going to copy that and do the same for the y axis, and just going to change here for up and here for down. So basically here what I'm going to do, what I'm saying to Godot is that when I go to the left, I add to the left arrow key an integers, and so when that integer is gonna be that integer gonna be -1, Godot gonna know that because it's -1, it's gonna go to the left, and if that integer is 1, it's gonna go to the right, and it's gonna be the same for the y-axis. If my integers is -1, it's gonna go up, and if it's 1, it's gonna go down. Basically, it's just a programmation things. So like that, Godot will know that when I will press those key, it will it will recognize the direction where the character gonna go. That's basically what it means. So I hope it's clear, because I know it can be a bit confusing at first, but yeah. Anyway, now we're gonna create another function, which we're gonna call function movement. And so in that function, we're gonna say that var motion is equal to move direction dot normalized multiply by speed. And then lastly, we're gonna say that move and slide, which is a built-in function in Godot that handle the movement, is gonna be equal to gonna be equivalent to motion and vector2. Voila. So now we have our we have our movement that are code. And so right now, if we are launching the game, we're going to be able to move our character to the left, to the right, those kind of things. But I'm not going to do it because if we do it right now, we're not going to have the animation. And the reason is we need to call those animation. And for calling those animation, we need to have some function for calling them. So we're going to need to create another function. I'm going to call func sprite direction loop. We're going to call it sprite direction loop. Like it's a function, that function going to be called in the physics process delta. So I'm going to just put that here as well, sprite direction loop. And so here in that function, what we're going to say is that basically we're going to ask to Godot to match the animation according to the direction where our character is going. That's what we're going to do right now. So for that, we need to say match move direction. So we need to go back to our variable that is here. And we're going to say that vector 2 minus 1 and 0 is sprite direction equal to left. So basically here we are doing what I was explaining before. Like here vector minus 1 and 0 is equivalent to move direction dot x minus int left int right. That's what it means. That's basically what it is. And so now that we have this, the identifier of sprite direction isn't declared. Yeah, that's normal. So what I need to do as well is, like I'm creating a new variable right now, I need to just declare it first. So I'm going to call it sprite direction, and it's going to be equal to down, because that's the position where our character will be when the game will start. So now that we have done that, what I need to do is just copy it, and I'm gonna copy past it 4 times. Oh no, I completely missed the V. Fuck. Voila. So that should be better. Yeah. And so we're just gonna change the direction according to the position of our characters. So vector 2, 1 and 0 are gonna be equal to right. Minus vector 0 and minus 1 gonna be equal to up, and minus 0 and 1 gonna be equal to down. And so when my character, what I've written here is that when I will press the left arrow key, so when our character will move to the left position, the left animation will be played. When it will be the right, it will be the right animation that will be played, etc, etc. That's what it means. Once this function is set up, we're gonna create an if statement in the physics process delta, and it's gonna look like this. So we go back to our physics process delta, and we say if move direction exclamation mark vector 2 okay, we're gonna call anim switch. We haven't created it yet, but I'm gonna create it here. Work. Okay, fuck. Of just like typo. That's very hard to record and explain at the same times. So anim switch work, and if not, so else, I'm gonna say anim switch. I'm gonna call the idle animation. So basically what Godot gonna do now is that you're gonna check move direction, and for that you're gonna check the vector 2. And so if we on the walk animation, you're gonna launch the walk animation according to the position we are in the vector 2, and if not, you're gonna do the same but with the idle animation. That's what it means. And so now that we have created that, we need to create the function animSwitch. So func animSwitch, and in parentheses it's going to be animation with a capital A. It's very important because if you put -a, it's not going to work in GODOT 3.2. So var new anim is equal to str animation sprite direction. And so we're gonna make a if statement now. So if anim dot current animation as new anim, then we're gonna say $, anim dot play parenthesis new anim. So here basically we are calling the function of animSwitch, and anim is going to be here, so that's going to be that. If this was called animation, you should call that function animation switch, but yeah, that's basically how it works. And so now we have also, I'm just gonna check that I haven't made any typo. Move direction expected. Oh, I have forgotten that. Okay, so I have my speed, I have everything. So normally with all of this, if we are launching our game now, everything should work. So we're gonna try that. So normally here I have my game, and as you can see, I can move my character and everything is working perfectly fine. So that's good. So in that video, we have learned how to use the animation player for creating an animation, and how to code a player that can move in every direction on the screen. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create a background, and that's going to be about it. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel if you have liked that video. Don't hesitate to share it as well if you think that it can interest some other people. Tell me what you have loved in that video, what thing you are expecting from me to explain in the next video. And I just want to thank you for watching the video, and I will see you later. Bye.